Hi, it's Bob from Greybeard Models. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you've all had a good holiday season. Um, Obviously, we've got New Year to come, and that's probably going to be a wreck to some people or more holiday type stuff. But anyway, thought I'd just give you a quick update on the carpet layer kit. It's going together really well, and I'm quite pleased with it. And there's some interesting stuff just to catch up with. So without further ado, I'll get over to the bench and we'll go through it. Right, so one of the questions that I've been asked, even though I haven't got to this stage yet, was how how did they interpret in this kit the carpet? Well, let me just explain. First and foremost, they've provided two sheets, as you can tell, it's quite long. Two sheets of sticky backed sort of paper material. Not sure about that yet, but we'll have a look at that. And the other part to represent the supports within the carpet is these pieces of wood. I kind of feeling this might be lime wood. It's very fine grain on it, but I've provided this. Now the question is, of course, on D-Day, the carpet was supported by steel poles, not wood, and it's a bit of a contention. I have a mind to replace these with some plastic rod. Now, I went through my stash of plastic rods, and it just so happens these pieces of wood are actually 2mm by 2mm square, but it just so happens that in my stash of what have I got here? Blimey, I've got loads. I've got, from Evergreen, a whole stash. What have I got? 1, 2, 3 packets of, well, 4 packets in effect. This one's full as well. Of 0.08 inch or 2mm diameter rod. So this is the same sort of size as this square stuff, and to be honest, I'm tempted to use this, and obviously it can be cut to length, and this can be painted. This could be painted black, or well, yeah, black, or one of the shades of black. Not 50 shades of grey, but 50 shades of black. And I think that would be the appropriate replacement for these wooden strips. Obviously, the wooden strips will go into the stash and might be used for something else. But I'm not convinced on the wooden slats that they provided. So that's what I'm going to do for the support across. How am I going to use this material? This material seems to me to be quite thick, although of course it would be scale size, I don't know. Toying with the idea of maybe using something else, and I don't know what. So one of my questions will be to you out there, I'll throw it out to you. I don't know if there's anybody watching that's built this kit, but if you have, did you use this material? Did you use something else? What do you think? Put it in the comments below, and I'll run it up the flagpole and see how it flies. anyway, moving back to the build. Right, I hope this comes out, because I wanted to show you something on the instructions that I found quite tricky and quite annoying in equal measures, really. First of all, we've got these M2 sort of nut bolt heads, and these sort of runner things. These come off the sprues, these M2s come off the sprues with quite long shafts. They're a bolt head, essentially, and they go into these holes. Now, the problem is the shaft is actually quite long, and does need to be trimmed back a bit. In fact, you could trim the whole head of the bolt off and put it over these holes. This is incredibly fiddly to do. If you thought if you thought doing the suspension was fiddly, this is fiddly to the next degree. The other thing that, I mean, they can be done, but anyway, the other thing that I find annoying about this kit is things like this. Right, so you've got two panels here, and it indicates that the holes have got to be drilled. Now, that's great. Great idea. First and foremost, doesn't tell you what size hole. So don't tell you what size hole. It also doesn't really give you a dimension of where the holes are. So if you go to this drawing here, which is where this AB14 is in place here on the side of the tank body there, it sort of indicates that it's over in this corner here. And with AB15 it indicates it's over here. But again, it doesn't tell you what size, and it doesn't really tell you where it is. But anyway, I've sort of gone on, and this section here, section 11, does the same on the other side. Yeah, so it's a bit of a pain, really. You've got to be a little bit alert, and you've got to do some measurements. Now I've gone to show you. I've gone on ahead in section and done section 12, and got the two halves together, and quite pleased with the outcome of that. That went together quite well, really quite a rigid structure and square. So it's come out really quite nice. It's well engineered for that. But yeah, it's a fiddly bit. So the next stage, having done that, is to get the top of the hull sorted out with all these little bits and pieces that are on there. I spoke before about paint. I think I can paint this as a whole, so that's fine. So I'm going to leave that as it is at the moment. I'm going to get on with the top of the hull, and then see how that looks when it's all on here, because it's sort of these guides on the top here are for tracks, for the tracks. And that leads me on to my next question, which I've already answered. So in the kit, let me just move that out of the way. So in the kit, you get rubber tracks. This is so old school. I mean, for a kit of this scale, at this price range, I would have thought, if I get these open, there we go, I would have thought that the tracks would have been, you know, links and lengths, or individual links. I don't like these. They're horrible. these type of tracks were horrible. Building 176 tanks, airfix tanks back in the 60s. It's been horrible ever since. And why oh why they persist in this, I don't know. Although I've got a shrewd idea why. One is that a lot of people are quite happy to put these on. You know, they will sit in place, wrap round, and join up. Yeah, typically not bad. Not happy with that. So what I've done is I've had a look around on the internet and managed to find a set of AFV Club tracks for the Churchill. I can't remember what they call them. Like it's. I was looking around because I've got a set for I think it's a Matilda that I've got. But yeah, it's yeah. I think that's why they do it, because it forces you to buy another set of stuff. But to be honest, I could put it in with this. It seems a bit naff. But anyway, that's where we are at the moment. I'll get on and do the top of the hull, and I'll come back to you. So as I was saying about the last section, in section 13, one of the things it asks you to do straight away here is drill out those 8 holes. Now, those 8 holes coordinate with these 8 parts E7. So what I've done, having got the top of the hull, I cut out the sections of E7s off of the sprue E. Fortunately, they're in a bare section, so I managed to pull those out. So the question now is what sort of size hole do you put in here? So fortunately, when I got one of these and measured and was going to measure it, however, looking at this, actually, if I can get it lined up again, because I did it just now. God, dear, oh dear. What I was trying to do was to find out if, where are you? If the hole already in the hull was big enough. And it's, you know, without taking these off, right, okay, there's one. Right, so it does appear to me that in this particular instance, these holes here are actually the size you want for the pins on the back of these parts. So what I'll do is get my trusty set of drills. I've had this set of Expo drills for God knows how many years. They've only been used for drilling plastic, so they've never got blunt. But yeah, so I need to find a drill that fit in that hole, and there it is. So what I'll do is I'll drill out using this drill, and then if they don't fit, obviously they're going to go on that side, but if they don't fit, then I'll just go up a size and then run the drill through in that respect. But it's a bit of a faff. I mean, if they actually sort of said to you, you know, get a drill, and this is, what is it, 1 2 3 4 5, right, so that drill is 0.9, and you could say, well, drill a hole 1 mil. So they could actually put that there in the instructions. It would make life a lot easier. But hey, there you go. It's the wonders of model kit construction. Right, so okay, so you may have realised previously, I mentioned or watched previously, where I was concerned about these hole diameters, and it hasn't actually sort of said, it hasn't really given a firm indication of the exact location of those holes, and it hasn't given the dimensions. However, when I looked further on into section 28, which is where the instructions for putting in the framework, which is the support for the bobbin, it indicates here the two pins that go through the supports into the hole at these 2 points, and this is parts AB2 and AB3. I found those on the sprue. Should have got the sprue out, shouldn't I? But hey, you know what it's like. Try not to plan ahead if you don't have to. Right, so the two parts on the sprue is AB2, AB3, and what I did was measured the diameter there of these parts, of those two diameters. They're actually a shade under 2 millimeters, and I have actually drilled these holes at 2 millimeters, so quite fortuitously, yeah, they're gonna be the correct size for those two pins. But it seems strange to me that entire structure, huge structure, was held in place by essentially 4 of these pins. But hey, anyway, let's move on. Well, as you know from before, I did mention I don't like these rubberized tracks. I put them into a Ziploc bag. Don't like those. So I've got these. These are by AFV Club. They're the same tracks as on here, and these are workable tracks. the interesting thing is they spell it Churchill there, but they sell it Churchill anyway, whatever. Don't want to be too picky, do we? So 1/35 scale, it's AFV Club AF 35156, and can't for the life of me remember how much they cost. They were a bit pricey, I think, but whole group of tracks and a whole group of tracks. And on the back there is instructions on how to put them together. So you got two track pieces and this joining part that obviously don't stick because they don't want them. So 1, 2, 3, and then obviously you make up the lengths. I'm not sure how many links per side it will be. I think I'll go for 1 bag, 2 bags, and we'll crack on with these and see how we get on. I think this is probably a good point at which to stop. Probably to be my last video for the year, so massive thank you to all my subscribers out there for staying on board with me and coming on board, and I'll see you in the new year. Have a great one. Bye for now.